Today, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's epic disaster at the Sundance Film Festival, where they can't even fill one movie theater.
Meghan Markle forced her own introduction, and she did it again. She inserts herself where she doesn't belong.
At least have the Duchess of Sussex have the opportunity to see the Duchess of Sussex 50 Shades of Orange Marmalade.
Sundance is the biggest name in independent film, period. It was founded by Robert Redford and built as a place where real filmmakers are supposed to matter. Tickets can cost up to $6,900, music, and that's not pocket change. Netflix and Amazon executives fly in just to hunt for the next breakout music project. If your movie premieres at Sundance, that's a serious stamp of approval. So, when Meghan and Harry announced that Cookie Queens would premiere there, the message was clear. We belong with real filmmakers. Music. What happened next told a very different story.
Meghan Markle attended Sundance for the premiere of her new documentary, Cookie Queens, and she couldn't even sell out the screen.
Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eccles Theatre. Around 150 empty seats sat untouched in the balcony. Entire sections had nobody in them at all. People who paid close to $7,000 for premium passes chose to stay in bed instead of watching the Sussexes. That alone speaks volumes.
How much does it cost and how do you get in? Because you can see that there are a lot of empty. There's one guy or a lady, I don't know, running away from Meghan.
Here's what makes it brutal. The night before, in the exact same theatre, Olivia Wilde's film had to turn away more than 100 people because it was completely sold out.
To get to the starry and exclusive Sundance screening is typically a hot commodity. These are extremely difficult tickets to get. Same theater the night before, the mob premiere of Olivia Wilde's The Invite, starring Seth Rogen, Penelope Cruz, Edward Norton. Staff had to turn away they had to turn away 100 actual ticket holders as there just were not enough seats.
Even a small horror movie called Buddy left 40 people standing outside in freezing cold weather because every seat was taken. When real Hollywood talent shows up, Sundance fills up fast. When Meghan and Harry show up, it's quiet. This moment was meant to prove they still had star power, but it ended up proving the music opposite. At film festivals, there's an unwritten rule everyone knows. The director always speaks first. It doesn't matter if you're Steven Spielberg or Brad Pitt. The person who actually made the film gets introduced before anyone else. That's basic respect in the industry. Meghan ignored that rule completely. She had herself introduced as Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex, a title Americans don't even legally recognize, and walked on stage, music, before director Eliza Namier.
In a rare move at Sundance, meaning this isn't supposed to happen, programmer Kim Yatani, which is her, welcomes an executive producer to introduce a filmmaker. That's not supposed to happen. That's not the way it works. It's just supposed to be the director and the stars of the documentary. Listen to what the woman says, because you can tell that she's not supposed to be doing this.
And I don't want to say too much because before we welcome our director.
Before we welcome our director.
Can you please join me in welcoming Meghan, Duchess of Sussex?
Then came the speech. Not a quick hello, not a polite acknowledgement, but a full Oscar-style acceptance speech. Music. She thanked her team at Archewell Productions and talked about how proud she and my husband are. Notice she never says Harry's name. It's always my husband. A subtle reminder of royal ties.
She decides to do something that no star does. It is not the done thing if you are in the world of lovey movie mayhem. And for Meghan, she wants to be in the world of lovey movie mayhem, so really she should be doing and following the protocol, which is, it doesn't matter how big you are as a star. It doesn't matter if you're Brad Pitt. It doesn't matter if you're George Clooney. It doesn't matter if you're Jennifer Lawrence. You do not speak at a film festival before the director of the movie.
Meanwhile, the actual director still hadn't spoken. When Alisa finally got her moment, Meghan stayed on stage, arms crossed, clearly irritated. The attention wasn't on her anymore. And it showed. Robert Redford spent decades building Sundance around respect for artists. Meghan managed to ignore that principle in just minutes.
This is a clincher.
What's your favorite cookie?
Well, I think universally, Thin Mints is probably most people's favorite.
So she's not saying my favorite is Thin Mints. It's a universal favorite is Thin Mints. Like, you should have a favorite Girl Scout cookie if you're making a Girl Scout movie. It's so bad.
For months, Meghan pushed a story about how deeply personal this project was. She talked about being a Girl Scout, said her mother was her troop leader, framed the film as tied to her childhood values. So, when a reporter asked the simplest question possible, "What's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?" the answer should have been easy. Instead, she said, "I think universally Thin Mints is probably most people's favorite. Not my favorite. Most people's favorite." She wouldn't even commit to a personal choice. Later, she tried to recover by saying, "I'm a Thin Mint girl," but it felt forced by then.
Become an executive producer of a movie that has already wrapped up. What are you going to produce? What are you going to do? The movie was already, I think, in post-production.
Here's what really happened with this documentary. Cookie Queens was made by actual independent filmmakers. Over 2 years, director Alisa Namia and her team filmed hundreds of hours following the participants involved. They carefully edited it all down into a 91-minute film. The project was already fully completed before Meghan and Harry stepped into the spotlight. Then, and only then, did Meghan and Harry swoop in with Archewell money and executive producer credits. They didn't film anything. They didn't edit anything. They didn't shape the story in any real way.
All of the movie was made before Meghan was involved. None of it was to do with her at all. They've been involved for 2 years trying to sell this damn thing. Netflix didn't want it. That is why they are at Sundance, trying to pimp out the movie, and it is not working.
Zero creative input. The director confirmed this herself in interviews, thanking Harry and Archewell and noticeably not mentioning Meghan by name. This is a classic Hollywood move used by wealthy, fame-hungry people who want the spotlight without the grind. You bankroll a finished project at the last second, slap your name in the credits, and suddenly act like you built the whole thing from scratch. It's like jumping into a group project after everyone else already did the work, then standing up to present as if you carried the team. Now, here's the real bombshell. Netflix passed on this film. Meghan and Harry have a multi-year first-look deal with Netflix. That means Netflix gets the first chance to buy anything Archewell produces. This documentary was developed over 2 full years while that deal was active. Netflix saw the finished product. Netflix reviewed it and Netflix said no.
As of now and as of taping, no one bought it. It's still unsold. No streamers are getting it yet.
Netflix has seen endlessly, and the latest numbers from With Love Meghan prove it. She's not a draw. She's not a draw. People watch her for the train.
Let that sink in. Netflix is the largest streaming service on the planet. They throw money at content every single day. They're already in business with Meghan and Harry. They could have easily added this to their catalogue with zero risk. Instead, they looked at Cookie Queens and decided it wasn't worth it, even with the Sussex name attached. That's why the film ended up at Sundance being quietly shopped around like a clearance item. As of now, the film is still unsold. No streaming platform wants it. No distributor wants it. Nobody is lining up And
Netflix can now undercut her completely and 100% on this project if it doesn't sell. Honestly, I would guess that's a game they're playing.
This all comes right after Meghan's Netflix cooking show With Love. Meghan was cancelled. Every Archewell documentary has either underperformed or fallen flat. The pattern is impossible to ignore. Hollywood has sent a very clear message. Meghan and Harry do not bring audiences. In industry terms, they are box office poison.
Why does Meghan look like so orange? Why Meghan went full bronzer again?
Meghan's greatest love affair is a microphone. And so she is more than willing to go out there and give let's say, her prep Oscar speech.
Then came the red carpet fallout. Within hours of footage hitting social media, thousands of comments flooded in about Meghan's appearance. The British press jumped on it fast. Headlines read things like, Meghan Markle humiliated as critics rip apart unnaturally orange makeup. Her hairline started trending. Comments about thinning hair and visible bald spots were everywhere. The outfit didn't escape either. People roasted it non-stop. Fashion critics, online users, everyone had something to say. Music. It was messy and it spiraled quickly.